Hello. I wanted to tell you about something that I think is really interesting, and it's called the halo effect. The halo effect is a beauty bias, which makes like people who are deemed more attractive, it's assumed that they have positive internal characteristics as well. So their first impressions come across, much better than someone who is not seen as being attractive. Um, The beauty bias lets people who are attractive, or the halo effect lets people who are seen as being attractive get away with murder, to say. So there are less people who are attractive are less likely to get tickets. Even in court, they're likely to get a better deal than someone who is not seen as attractive. And you might be wondering, Hunter, what makes a person attractive? The eye's in the beholder, right? You're wrong. So what makes someone considered attractive is the amount of symmetry that their face has. It's like the amount of symmetry that the right side of their face has with the left side of their face. And same with body, too. The more symmetrical a person's body is, like the closer their hands are in size or their limbs, the more attractive that they'll be to, most people. Um, but so facial symmetry, it's interesting because there's a limit. Like there was a study done where they used computer software to create images of like perfectly symmetrical faces, and when those symmetrical faces were compared to asymmetrical faces that were different, the people in the study chose the symmetrical faces as being the most attractive more often. But then when they took the same face and put the left side with the left side and then the right side with the right side, the participants chose the natural look as looking more attractive. The reason for this is because naturally our we tend to have flaws, and it's very rare, if it ever happens, that someone has a perfectly symmetrical face. So we're used to seeing and have become accustomed to seeing faces and slight differences even in a very symmetrical face. So the perfect symmetry looks very unnatural, and therefore it's unattractive to people or participants in the study. Another thing that's interesting is that people with more symmetrical bodies than not, tend to actually be more coordinated, more fertile, and more intelligent, which the halo effect just is an assumption that the people are more talented because of their beauty. Now, when it comes to body symmetry, they actually are more coordinated, fertile, and intelligent than those with asymmetrical bodies, which is interesting. And then a fun fact is that star athletes tend to have more symmetrical bodies than the average person. Research suggests that humans are more attracted to the physical characteristics that signal health and fertility. So just like how men tend to be more attractive to women with big breasts, because without them even realizing it, like subconsciously, that's because it signals that the woman is fertile and that she's ready to reproduce. And that is our goal as a species, is to reproduce, the sustainability of the species as a whole. So that actually has a lot of power with the choices that we make. Is, will this person be a good mate? Will this help me to reproduce and contribute to society? Will this sustain the human race? So that explains why people are more attracted to those with more symmetrical bodies. And I wonder if that carries on into the symmetrical face, that maybe, although, research hasn't proven that a symmetrical face actually means that the person is more intelligent or nicer, or has a better personality. I wonder if that is carried on from the desire to be with someone with a symmetrical body. So, now that you know about the halo effect and the beauty bias, my challenge for you is to consider this when meeting people. And, for example, if you meet someone that you don't find to be attractive and you immediately start making assumptions of their personality, like perhaps they're not as smart as, your beautiful friend or whatever, maybe you consider the halo effect and consider how that's affecting the way that you perceive people around you. Okay, thanks.